Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make the G EASY Trivet quilt as you go. What we will need for this project is a 5-inch square for your center. You need a 1.5-inch strip for that first border, and then a 2.5-inch strip for the outer border. You will also need an 11-inch square of fabric for your backing. And then for the inside, you're going to need 2 layers. You want an insulating layer. This is Insul Bright, so it has a little bit of aluminum lining. And then a layer of cotton batting, just to catch all the condensation. So what I started with is just fusing those 2 together using basting spray. And then we're just going to find the center by drawing a line through the center using a water erasable pen. So I want to take my ruler, I lay it in the center of my batting and fold this over so it's half and half. I push my ruler into the middle, and then I know this is centered, so I can just draw that line. I do the same the other way. Push the ruler in, and then I can line up a horizontal line on that first line, and I know I'm centered. So we're going to be stitching this quilt as you go, so you want to have a walking foot on your machine, and we are going to have the cotton batting on top, so you draw on the cotton batting. The Insul Bright is on the bottom. We're going to take our 5-inch square and just center it by folding it. I actually just crease the centers like this, folding it in half and creasing the centers here. And then I can just match my creases up with the 4 lines, all 4 lines, and I know I'm perfectly centered. There is a printable available to download from my website that will tell you all the measurements, how to subcut your strips to have them all ready to piece. So we're going to start by the second border. We're going to do the shorter rectangles right on top. We're going to sew them on each side, and we're going to stitch through the layers with a scant 1/4-inch seam, and then press out. You can finger press or use an iron if you want to. Once you have this unit all pieced, you're going to notice that here's the Insul Bright on the bottom. We're going to place our backing piece, our 11-inch backing piece, right on top. And we're just going to center it. Sometimes this is not all even because when we're sewing through such thick layers, our seams are sometimes not fully accurate. But you just center it right on the top like this. We're going to pin the 4 corners. I like to just pin them like this. And then what you're going to do is stitch around the whole thing, following the edge of the backing piece. And I like to actually add a little bit to my seam allowance when I'm doing this. But what we're going to make sure to do is leave an opening on one of the sides. You need it to be at least 4 inches to be easy, to make it easy to turn this inside out. So we're going to stitch all the way around like I've done here, leaving an opening on one side, and then you're going to just with scissors trim everything even to the backing. And before we turn it, I go ahead and just clip my corners to make the corners pop out a little bit easier. Now the reason why I turn this way is we have such thick layers of the Insul Bright and the batting, so it's kind of hard to do binding. So it's an easy finish this way. So now we're just going to turn it. Now that we've pushed the corners out, it's ready to be pressed. I start by pressing the inside seam, the fold of the backing fabric kind of flat because they sometimes get a little bit distorted when we are turning. So I press that flat, and then I turn it over to turn this part because it's a little bit thick with all the layers of the batting, to make these guys even, and I give it a good press, ideally with a little bit of steam. Check the other side, see how that looks. And then I press my whole piece. A little trick to keep this closed instead of using pins, I like to just use a little bit of Elmer's school glue, washable school glue. So I just put a little sliver on the edge here, inside edge, and this will help keep this opening nice and closed, and I don't have to use any pins. I just use heat to set it, and this thing will stay closed now that I do the top stitching all the way around. See how it stays nice and closed. So now what I do a top stitch. I start by doing about a 1/2 inch from the outside edge all the way around, and then I do a second one about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. It closes up the opening nicely, and this just makes the trivets lay nice and flat. There's no bump on the binding. Of course, you can use binding if you prefer that, but this is so much faster and easier, and they lay nice and flat. You can line them up on a table and put anything hot on it, and it's not ever going to damage your table. I hope you enjoyed making these quick and easy trivets. They are so fun to make and easy for a hostess gift, or even just to match your table decor. My name is Gudrun from GE Designs, and I'll see you next time.